And here we are, everybody. It's another week, another podcast. There was literally so much this week. We couldn't fit everything we wanted into the show. So we just went with the best topics of the best that's available. 4 topics that were just dying to be talked about. And as always, I am the host, Armin, and I am here to talk about so much stuff. It was literally like spilling over. It was boiling. That's where we were at. You guys will trust me. Trust me. So many good topics. I'm not making this up. There's definitely a lot of good stuff to talk about. But hey, somebody's got to join me to talk about all this excitement. And of course, I am joined by Mitch.
I'm excited to talk about all the things that came out last week. Because there were so many.
So many.
They're so good. And you can follow me on Twitter at 692 tweets.
And we're also going to be joined by, more than likely, another semi-sleepy individual, Tristan, talking about all the excitement.
Yeah. What was it? Oh, yeah, it's all by Odin's Fade. I am here. And you can catch it. You can catch it.
You were telling us yesterday while we were recording, I was like, I don't know if he's doing a bit here and he's making stuff up or if this is all in a Miles Morales comic. And then I saw it, I was like, whew.
No, it is. And I was yesterday, I think, was it the artist's name is Jahidi? He came out and apologized for it. But most people just assumed that he's only apologizing because Marvel was basically chewing his ear out yesterday for all the bad press that happened, because there were tweets that he was lashing out at people for saying that this does not look good. All this came to light in his apology, which didn't look like a real apology.
Is that the apology where he said he's donating all the money he makes from it to something?
Saying this is not the greatest representation and whatnot. And I was like, so you know that he kind of phoned it in for a paycheck. Okay, good.
Ooh, yeah, it's
To be fair, more for Marvel for actually letting it get out there.
Yeah, that's like on the two front. It's like none of the editors actually caught this when he submitted it. So I was like, oh, okay. It was like they just glanced at it and say, oh, okay, good to go.
I bet his editor's a white guy, isn't it?
I'm not so sure which editors this falls under there, because technically it's not a Spider-Man story, because each of the areas have their own editor. I'm not entirely sure who it falls under.
I'd be surprised if they weren't white. Let's put it that way. I'd be very surprised. Very.
It's people go look up the whole situation and go down the rabbit hole with that one. And it's a thing. But hey, in I guess better news here. Happy birthday, Benny. That's cool. You're 1 year older now, a member of the CBC fans here. So
another rotation around the sun done. Well done.
Yeah. Okay. So somebody explain this to me, right? How does sun rotation?
What a birthday is?
Well, that too, but how does it work on a flat Earth? Because I've seen flat earthers argue that it's flat, and then they're like, "Whoa, your birthday still happens," but nobody's been able to explain how does a birthday happen on a flat Earth since somebody's holding light above the dome or whatever.
This is only going to be a known thing to people that aren't 12. When you used to put a CD disc in a thing, it spins, so it's still rotating despite being flat.
Okay. I get you there, but what happens when the disc goes to the secret track that you have to wait 7 minutes for, and it's Snoop Dogg just smoking something, talking slowly, and you're like, this is the secret track. Remember those back in the day?
I do. I remember the Papa Roach one, and I was like high off my mind in a friend's caravan, and I was like, what the hell is this? I've never heard this in my life, and we just sat there like amazed.
Did I enter another dimension?
Because I can't remember what song it was. I think it was Tightrope, and I'd literally never heard it before, and neither had he. And we just like jaws on the floor that this song just came on. It's like, what's going on?
Secret tracks, kids, go look that up. It was a thing. But hey, speaking of secret tracks, we don't have any in this podcast that I'm aware of. Although I guess the members section is technically one.
Before you carry on, I just want to say that Benny said that's a leap year, and I can't. I'm trying not to laugh because I think that's genuinely hilarious.
Oh man, yep. Well, here we go, everybody. So we're just gonna get into the show, and we'll see where our first official topic. We learned some actual details on Deadpool 3 from, well, the writer of the project.
Oh no.
This was kind of honestly, I didn't expect anybody to actually say anything relevant, like at all, up until the movie officially started shooting. But we got it. So this came from Rhett Reese, who's one of the co-writers, and they were on a show and asked about Deadpool 3, and they revealed, well, we looked at all the options, and the best option we came up with, Deadpool's going to the MCU. So it has to be a fish out of water story where he enters this world and suddenly everything's not the same like it was in his world. So what do we do with that plot? And it's like, yeah, I'm actually, this is the first thing I've heard about this film that I'm like, you know what? I'm actually interested now. So,
of course, Deadpool 3 is going to be Thor 1. Fantastic.
Yep. Because, like, from what I saw, it's like the fish out of water sequences where, everything in this universe makes sense to them. So it's like common sense. But when Deadpool goes over, he is seen as the crazy one by everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
They gotta be real careful with Deadpool here, though, because they just literally set up incursions.
Yeah.
And if you go and make too big a wave in a universe that isn't your own, you're gonna cause an incursion. Oh,
yeah,
Deadpool's gonna make a wave.
Yeah, it's weird because, like, I guess this is their plot explanation on why Deadpool keeps doing the fourth wall breaks and seems crazy to everyone except for himself.
See, that would actually work for me if every time we get a fourth wall break or something, it's just Deadpool being nonsense, but nobody else can see it. I'd be like, you know what? That's a good way to restrain that character, because...
Isn't that how they played it out in Deadpool 1?
Oh, it's been a while.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I just know I hate Deadpool 2, so that's all my mind goes to. So,
to be fair, Deadpool 2 did kill the movies for me completely.
Yeah, they said that they haven't seen they were talking about what they're going to put into it, and they said they haven't seen the Morbius memes, but they're trying to put a Morbius joke into the scripts and see what.
Oh, great! So they're still going to be 12 years out of date. Fantastic! I've got no interest anymore. Literally, just I couldn't give a crap about this movie now. You're going to be doing that now.
What? So you don't care about Morbin time?
No.
I
mean, although I will I won't mind Deadpool making fun of Sony's films. Like, Kevin Feige can say everything he wants through Deadpool, and it's cool. It's fine. I don't know. Like, Deadpool in the MCU is already. It's like we can't avoid it, so we just kind of got to take it, and hopefully it works. And at least what they're saying is like, well, it's the story it needs to be. Like, he's going to leave his universe. He's going to end up here. Like you said, there's going to be some incursion or some effect that has to go into it.
I just got the idea that if it does have an incursion, they're going to play it off for laughs.
Oh. I mean,
yay.
Look, if they kill the Fox universe with a laugh, nobody's going to care.
That's the universe that gets the incursion.
Nobody
I was going
will
to say,
care.
if it's the Fox universe that gets incursion, that's totally fine with me.
Yeah.
It's totally fine.
It's a literally like ending, and they can make a joke out of it being like, you can only save one person from this universe, and it won't affect anything else, and Deadpool just jumps through a portal. It's like, later, dudes, and they just all die a horrific death. It's like, cool. I'll take it. I will gladly take that. Because I don't...
Get Alexandra's shit back so he can say he's going to a place where she's going to be recast, and then she dies.
Yeah.
So congratulations, you weren't recast, but you're dead. You're gone. Bye.
Yeah. They can get. Oh man, who else was in those movies?
Fassbender.
Fassbender just screaming at a fan again. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, an
That's all he ever did. I can't think of his name. McAvoy.
Yes. Yeah.
I can't remember who played Cyclops.
Oh,
that one kid from
the Ready Player
that
One
movie.
kid. Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah.
I want
to
to
say Tyler something or Taylor.
Taylor.
Chat, help us. Tell me the answer.
I want to say Taylor Sheeran, but I think I'm thinking of Ed Sheeran.
I was wanting to say like Sheridan or
Sheridan.
something.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
He had what's her face from Game of Thrones? Sophie Turner.
Yep. I like her, but she's probably not going to be back ever because Dark Phoenix and Phoenix.
Oh, it is Sheridan. Thanks, Nick.
Wow, look at that. There we go. So yeah, here we go. Kill them all off, make an incursion, bring Deadpool in, drop him into the MCU, have him be a fish out of water, and good. That's all you really need. That's all you need. Keep Deadpool. You can wipe everybody else away. Oh, I'm cool with that.
What about the Colossus and like Negasonic?
I'd be cool if they keep the actors in the same look, just make them the MCU variants.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
That's all because I mean their Colossus, he looked perfect. Like they literally got him right, and then was like, oh, we're gonna do away with that, are we? It's like, oh no, we could keep those as well. So yeah, Negasonic.
Do we carry on the? I can't think of what the girlfriend was called. I want to say Vanessa.
Oh, Vanessa, yeah.
Do we carry on that plot for Copycat, or is she just totally gone as well?
Or
do we do it where he finds Vanessa in the MCU and she's already Copycat?
We'll do that one.
Yeah.
Do that one. Give us more. Yeah. Don't take the fun.
Just have the movie be the entire thing. He's looking for the people he knows, and that's
exactly.
And the only one he can find is the little old black woman that he lives with. Just have that. Just end it there.
Make him accidentally get dropped in like the middle of Eastern Europe, and he's like, "Oh, I got to take a road trip now, find everybody," and suddenly he just runs into that old lady. He's like, "Hey, join me on this cross-world road trip," and there we go. They can meld the old road trip Deadpool 3 plot that they had with the MCU Fish Out of Water, and it's cool. Like,
my brain just went to like Euro Trip and all that.
Exactly. See, they could spoof.
And then I was thinking, how do we get Deadpool in a Van Wilder situation?
See, you spoof the old classic 2000s films. It's great.
What a time that was.
We're gonna do Dude, Where's My Deadpool? It's gonna be great. Oh.
See, now I'm interested.
This is better than what they're gonna come up with.
If this is what it is, I'm on board. Anything else, keep it.
That's why Kevin Feige's gonna remake he's gonna make the first X-Men just be American Pies. It's like American X-Men, and it's just gonna be them trying to get laid before Professor X has them graduate to X-Men status. It's gonna be amazing.
I'm down for that.
We need to bring back what's his name?
Which X-Men is the Stifler, and which one's Jason Biggs?
Wolverine's got to be Stifler, and Jason Biggs has got to be Cyclops, right?
So you're saying Cyclops is the pie fucker?
Yeah.
I can agree with that. That works.
See, we just pitched the complete reboot here. This is the good stuff, guys. Good stuff. There you go.
I mean, like, was it Cyclops did want to bone everything, but his dead wife for a while, so it fits.
It's perfect. It is perfect. So there we go. When we know more about Deadpool 3, we'll talk about it. We definitely managed to stretch this nothing story into 9 minutes. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Or second up, but first up in the Q&A department. Yeah, I got that one right this time. Here we go. This is going to be a little bit of a longer one, and we'll talk a little bit about it. It's good that I picked this up after we just talked about incursions. But Taylor Estmare, he asks us, do you think that the spell from Spider-Man No Way Home could affect other Peter Parkers in the multiverse and not just affect the Peter Parker we saw in the MCU? And could this also tie into the whole fractured multiverse incursions and everything like that? I mean,
I mean, if they wanted to, sure, yeah, it could.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would honestly be a very cool angle that I could see them taking on it. But the problem is that Sony would have to write that into their own scripts, and I don't trust them being able to pull that off as per Sony. So it's like, if the MCU wanted to, like after Spider-Man 4, maybe Spider-Man 5 or 6, if they do another smaller MCU story with the multiverse, it'd be cool to come around to and be like, look, I don't know what you guys did with that spell, but it messed up everything on our end as well. So let's try to fix it. Like, that'd be a good thing to return to, but I don't trust Sony. So
I think you start to overcomplicate it.
Yeah. It's
plus, how many Spider-Men have their identity out there?
Yeah, it's because it's just, to me, it feels like a major headache, because you don't know what, unless they actually like gave some background history on that particular Spider-Man or Spider-Man. You don't know who knows their identity and who doesn't, and then you're just trying to figure out, okay, now who else will know?
I mean,
to me, it's just a big headache at that point.
And that's the thing. It's like all the Spider-Man have something at least decent-ish going for them. Now, if this spell could work on Spider-Man Lotus, they'd probably want it. So I don't know.
He goes up to Doctor Strange. I made a terrible mistake.
Have you seen those texts? Oh. Oh, well, I guess that's why T'Challa is after you.
What now?
Oh,
I still can't believe that that's just the plot of The Incredibles. Like, this entire thing is just Syndrome. No. You can't write. You couldn't make up what's just happened.
It only happened on the internet, and it's like entirely true, which is the funny part. It's like someone waited, was it so is it 6 years to do it?
Yeah, because he was 9, now he's 15. So yeah.
It's
literally Syndrome, and it keeps me up at night thinking like Syndrome, like it's legit just happened. Like what?
You ignored me. Now you ignored me.
The age range also here makes sense, because if you look at the age range, it's so this kid was in Call of Duty chats on Xbox when he was 7. I mean, it all makes sense now. It all makes sense. Like, this was just common back then. It's
God.
So that's how the spell works. If anybody really needs it, and if it's going to affect anybody, it'll be the people involved with Lotus. So there you go. Not to be confused with Locust, which were the main plot driver of a Jurassic Park movie. The fucking Locust.
Yeah. It's was it have a dinosaur movie where the plot is the locust?
It's about giant bugs. Sweet. Wait, I'm not sure if locusts are bugs or not, because I'm no bug aficionado. So if somebody knows, you can let me know in the comments, and I will keep on calling them bugs or whatever they might be. Arachnids, I'm not sure. See, tying that to spiders. They're probably not arachnids. And who's excited? Oh, wait. So you ever wonder about what the next series is going to be in the MCU? Because it's Wonder Man.
It's Marvel trying to get creative with their lower tier people.
At least they got more creative than my segue right there. So
it's true. I feel like I'm genuinely the only person excited for this. I love Wonder Man.
You know what? I looked on the internet, and that is true. You are literally the only person.
I'm trying to remember. Isn't currently Wonder Man a pacifist? I think.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting on that
Being
front.
a pure energy doesn't like to fight. He's a pacifist.
Yeah.
He could literally just wipe anyone out, but he chooses not to.
I mean, according to what we got the first details and everything for, it sounds like that they're definitely doing the whole Hollywood satire thing. That's at the center of everything.
I really hope so. I really hope so.
I mean, the opportunities there to having him be like this person who's in Hollywood while Hollywood in the MCU is making MCU content and superhero content, that sounds amazing. Like that's exciting.
You could literally just have this entire thing be a clap back at the boys.
Yes.
The boys is trying to rip on everyone. Please, just rip on the boys. Please, that's all I need.
It's actually very interesting because people are like, "Who's Wonder Man?" It's interesting how he came about with his creation, because he was in about when they made him, and at the time of Stan Lee from 1978, they brought out Wonder Man, and guess what? DC Comics sued them because they had Wonder Woman, so they had to discontinue Wonder Man. But then all of a sudden they had Power Girl, and they had Power Man, who's Luke Cage. So that's why he started to come back after that happened. And apparently he was kind of popular because he got his own self-titled graphic novel in 1986, and it went on for like 29. It then went on to star in his own self-titled 29-issue series. So someone liked him.
I say, wasn't he one? He was one of the leading West Coast Avengers, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he's been one of the. Yeah, like he's been quite a mainstay on the Avengers for a fair while, but
yeah.
Also very integral to Wonder and Vision.
Yeah,
very integral.
I think
how they're going to play that off with how those two currently are in the MCU, I have no idea.
And yeah, he was a.
They could still very much do like Wonder Man has his brain patterns as part of the New Vision run. I say New Vision, the resurrected white one running around. He can wink and nod to it that way, but outside of that, no idea.
Yeah,
maybe Simon Williams is going to be the one that she loves now because Wonder in Multiverse Madness told Wonder to go be loved.
So they do go with the West Coast Avengers, and he was a founding member.
Okay, so hear me out. So you got Simon, he's over there working in Hollywood and whatever, and they're trying to, make superhero content based on the Avengers and stuff, but he does need somebody on the inside that kind of knows. He needs somebody that's been close to it, that's trying to find themselves. So it's going to be Simon and Vision living in Hollywood, and he's his advisor, being like, man, this isn't how this works. So it's going to be like a buddy comedy where we can get Vision in there. Because if they're going to spoof anything, you might as well just toss a character in there that makes sense. Have fun with it. Like, make this thing something completely different.
I hope you if this show isn't that, you just ruined it for me.
Yeah, because
I need that.
Yeah, I hope it is too, because his actual origin is kind of weird. He's the son of a rich industrialist, and once his dad dies, he inherits everything. But the company starts to lose profits and was going to go out of business due to Tony Stark. And at the advice of his brother, he starts to embezzle money to keep the company afloat, and goes to prison. And then Zemo is the person with the Enchantress who gives him the idea to infiltrate the Avengers. And he does it, and they transform him into Wonder Man.
You could legit spin this and use the thing I just said with Vision, and have Vision be like, why don't you use that money for something good? Like, what about an Avengers outlet on this side of the planet? It's like, okay, like, you could honestly kind of go down this direction and it would work and be something interesting. So, I mean, I'm excited for this. Like, I think if Miss Marvel has shown me anything, it's you can do something completely different and people will gravitate towards it. So, I
just have one request. We don't do Nathan Fillion.
100% no. No.
Man is too old.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Get literally anyone else. Also, if we're doing a Hollywood satire here, can we please get Tom Cruise as Iron Man in this damn thing?
Can we?
You didn't give it to me in Multiverse of Madness. Just give it to me here, please.
Can we also get one scene of Simon trying to pitch a film towards a Hollywood exec who completely rejects him and throws him out of his office, and that's Kevin Feige's only cameo?
See, like I was saying, like I'm just thinking, like makes you think you don't want Nathan Fillion because he's too old. Well, on the opposite side, they have an 80-year-old Harrison Ford playing Indiana Jones, who doesn't need to be, but they're
But
still doing it with the
Lucasfilm's
fans.
dumb. That's why they.
So you're
have that.
saying you want Harrison Ford as Wonder Man? Is that's what I'm getting?
As long as we CGI Harrison
yeah, I was
Ford
just
for like
saying,
40 years
it's
ago.
that weird thing. It's like I was like, at this point, I would expect that they just reroute the franchise instead of getting Harrison Ford, who has specifically said he doesn't want to do this stuff anymore. But they
No,
keep
that was Star Wars. He didn't want to do. He's fine with Indiana Jones.
Yeah, because they dumped $40 million on his lawn.
There is
yeah,
that.
it's like, yeah, it's like they keep dumping money on him. And he's like, oh, I guess so.
Yep.
He's got to run his plane somehow, and fuel prices to shut up.
I'm not sure how the economy works, but I'm pretty sure planes do in fact run on diesel. So I'm gonna believe.
Of course
what
they
you
do.
said. Of course, yeah.
It's fuel in it. Any fuel?
Yeah. And if I learned
Maybe
anything
not the new
from
E10 stuff.
right, and if I learned anything from the old seasons of Family Guy, you can power your bed with fuel and then fly it. Peter Griffin said so.
Exactly,
so that story checks out. So Wonder Man, it's coming at us. There's gonna be, by the sounds of it, some news by the end of the year because they're looking to start production next year, which means this thing is probably being announced at D23 /
Yeah, 100%. You know, we have the whole like, oh, you'll find out about the next phase in a couple of months. Like,
which is weird because like San Diego Comic-Con is oddly enough next month.
Yeah.
Yeah, their whole thing is because it's going to be the first in-person thing. They want D23 to have all the glory.
Yeah.
So they're like, sorry, Comic-Con, you're no longer relevant anymore. No one cares. Bye.
Yes, at this point, it's like it's weird as why don't they just have it at Disneyland?
It's like E3. We just had meh, and it's better. It's like, oh, E3's coming back next year, and everybody's like, we're not coming back though, because
the reason they have it is because people won't believe that they're announcing stuff at Disneyland. Just like people didn't know Chris Evans was at Disneyland. They thought he would just Photoshop himself into the area.
Well, when he does the exact same pose in every photo, like
that's true. That is true.
It was hilarious.
Well, there we go, everybody. Wonder Man, got another Q&A. This one comes from our buddy Envious Cosplay Marvin, and he asked this, but I also saw a couple other people say, you know what, that's a good question, talk about it. So we don't really talk about the Star Wars stuff on here, but we'll do this as a members Q&A. And he says, do you think that Lucasfilm will eventually run out of ideas to fill in the blanks and bridge the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy? He says he loved Obi-Wan and some of the stuff they've done, but we've gotten Solo, we've gotten Rogue One, we got Rebels, we got Obi-Wan, we're getting Andor. What else can you possibly do? And again, I think many people are feeling like him. You do kind of run into this burnout where you're like, there's no stakes in it, right? Like watching Obi-Wan, you knew you knew how it was going to go.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, the Grand Inquisitor is dead, huh? No, he's not. There was none of that. Even my wife was like, oh, wait, that's the guy from Rebels. He's alive. I was like, oh, even you know that. And like, you've never even seen Rebels. You just seen my action figure of him. So, okay. Like, yeah, it's, I mean, look.
Here's the thing, right? That list of what they've done that's in that time period isn't a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can do, how many Jedi were there? You could have so many still be alive and be like, hey, Order 66 screwed some people up in their head.
Well, according to some stories, we're getting a Cal Kestis series. It's in early development.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you can give Cal Kestis a character, I'm down.
Just same, yeah. And also, you got to dance around the video games, so maybe you set it between the two games or something. Or, I mean,
it's a fair time jump.
Yeah, I'd be cool with it. So.
And how long it takes to make a game anyway, you could probably write and film an entire script and be like, hey, here's what happens in our show. Go
exactly.
Off from there.
And I do think that also what Taika said recently is really important, where he was like, look, I'm making a Star Wars movie not connected to anything based on things you've never seen before in this universe. Good. Good. That's what I've been waiting for. Yeah. So slowly they're going to try to get away. Obviously the High Republic, the Acolyte show is getting away from it, but we know that's going to feature a younger Yoda. So it's still like, okay, it's a prequel to episode 1. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, slow and
I
steady,
know.
though.
I think there's so much stuff you can do in that prequel to the original time span.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what, 20 years? Like, there's so much you can do.
Yeah. So
It hasn't got to be any character we've known or seen before. You can do someone completely new, like Fallen Order did.
Nah, you gotta shove Vader back in there just because.
I mean, why not give us a prequel, like a series of Vader?
Yeah.
A prequel sequel with Vader in it. Like, why not?
I mean,
What's he been doing?
No, they've been doing that. If you've been reading the Vader comics,
I mean, the comics are amazing that were based on
No
that.
one reads the comics. There's like 12 of you.
So? Yeah, we're good, damn it.
Like 12 people. But no, it's, you can do a ton of stuff.
Yeah, you can. So,
Will they run out of ideas? Probably. Maybe 20 years time from now. Sure, they may be.
right. So that's like the thing. It's like, look, slow and steady. We'll find out more. I think once they wrap up a couple more of these projects, I won't be surprised if, again, this year we start hearing more about, okay, this is what we're going to do. And they make some announcements. We're like, oh, okay, that's a little out there. Because they've said they even want to make sequels, to things happening after the Rise of Skywalker. So good. Rogue One, that film is going to be after that. So slowly we're going to get away from these pre-established things.
Rogue One's going to be after the Rise of Skywalker? What?
Yeah. Or not Rogue One. What's that? Rogue
they're gonna
Squadron?
time
Is
travel.
that what the one? Yeah, Rogue Squadron.
I'd say
That's
Rogue
the one.
Squadron, yeah.
Time travel.
Sure, I'll take that I'll take anything at this point that freshens up Star Wars. Give me time travel. I don't care. Oh, they did time travel already.
I was going to say we've already got that.
Never mind then. Well, Star Wars. Give us something fresh,
Fit.
Yeah. All right. So Chris Hemsworth recently had a bunch of comments on his Marvel future, and it started to sound like that he's at one of those contracts that Kevin Feige recently alluded to, where it's one film at a time now, where it's like, hey, when we have an idea, we're going to bring you back if you want to come back, but we're taking things slow. And he said currently Thor Love and Thunder is his last film, and he doesn't know what's next. And then he also followed up a different interview saying he hopes that it's on his time, that it's not like, look, we're sick of you, go away, that he can officially leave Thor behind when he feels like he's had enough.
Because it's in this weird thing, because technically Thor ages really, really slowly. So you can keep Thor around for a very long time.
Yeah.
But it's just, it's just, how much longer can you realistically keep him with the rest of the characters without, I guess oversaturation of Thor to where people don't want to see him anymore.
No.
That's the thing, right? As long as movies are good, you're not going to get oversaturated.
Yeah, because because Hemsworth is amazing as Thor, even doing VA work for him. Like, if he wanted to continue to do it, he could be the new animated Thor forever, how long he wanted to be, because he does it that good.
Mm-hmm.
Thor's one of those characters that, you said it, you can just literally keep around. Yeah. There's no reason to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Because if you could keep him around, or maybe not tell a Thor story and put him in a place where he's so far removed from everything, and then you could be like, right, cool, Hemsworth, it's been 15 years, we want you to do Old Man Thor.
Yeah.
And you just go from there.
Yeah.
Like, please.
Yes, it's just that. There's also that one, I guess, statement he said that he wanted to be in Deadpool 3 as a cameo. So I was like, sure, if you really want to do it. It's just, I just want to have like good Thor stories, and if Hemsworth wants to continue to be Thor, not as as in live action, but for VA work, go ahead, because he's like, you own the role at that point.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's anything to worry about. Like, they'll keep bringing him back. He's, he hasn't had too many of the breakout big films or history like some of the other actors. So it's like, I see no reason that he would want to leave. And Thor can keep being a member of the MCU, bring him to the Avengers films if you want, do whatever. Like, there's plenty of room for him. So kind of just the way, I guess. So, yeah.
I guess because this whole thing came up because people were worried because they have a new Thor and Jane Foster, but I'm like, I mean, you can have both. It just really just depends on which one wants.
It's not like Jane's entire story had both running around at the same time, though.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I assume he'll be around for at least 2 more after Love and Thunder.
Yeah, honestly,
at least.
Yeah. That seems like about a good amount of time to. And I mean, 2 more. You're probably talking about another decade worth of film, technically. So it's like, yeah, that's it's gonna be a while because
when did Ragnarok come out? 2017, wasn't it?
Was it that long ago?
I think so. Yeah.
My God.
It was around the same time as Homecoming.
Oh, I'm gonna look this up.
Because didn't they pushed Ragnarok for Homecoming?
Yep, 2017.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
I feel like it's more recent, but I remember 2020, 2021 happened.
Like the original.
It feels more recent because it's a Doctor Strange effect, right? He's been in like every movie since.
Yeah.
He's been, don't really forget he's there.
He's been in a lot of other movies besides his own. So that's why it feels it's so recent. Because like the original Thor was in 2011, Thor: The Dark World was in 2013, and Ragnarok is 2017.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you keep it as spaced out as it has been, no, I think it'll be fine. You're not oversaturating anyone, even if the movies are bad or good. Like, it's just every 5 years you get a Thor movie.
Yeah.
Though I assume with the Jane story, you kind of want to be quick about it, but we'll.
Yeah. I mean,
let's see how that goes.
Yeah, who knows how they decide to even take Jane's story and what they could.
Yeah, because it's really weird. Because at this point, it's like, how long is she gonna be? Is she gonna be Mighty Thor? If she's gonna be Mighty Thor for a long time, or if they're going to veer into the other persona that she has as Valkyrie.
Valkyrie, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I suppose we're gonna know in I don't know, like 2 weeks what happens with Thor after Thor: Love and Thunder. So we'll talk about it then. So yeah, stay tuned. Let's just get to our final topic here, and then we'll do Q&A after, because it's kind of gonna all tie together. But we officially got more news on Kraven the Hunter. This time, coming at us directly from Kraven himself, Aaron Taylor Johnson, because they wrapped shooting. So he just straight up revealed major elements of the film, and he was like, oh yeah, in our movie, Kraven the Hunter is actually somebody who loves and protects nature and is one that is a fan of animals and lives along them.
Kraven Ventura, cool.
Yeah, he says all that while having a lion pelt on his back.
Kraven the poacher, the villain, is now Kraven the animal lover who protects the damn jungle.
And
it's one of the. I know everyone's freaking out about it, and I get it, but I get why.
No, everyone gets why they're doing it.
No. Not everyone gets why. Not everyone gets it why. Even that doesn't get shit. No.
It's true though.
Because if we can go back to his, like, I think it was Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah, it was Amazing Spider-Man. I'm just trying to see what the issue number. But in his first appearance, to make himself feel better of a hunter, he fought a hungry tiger. Like, it was like they never fed it, and he fought it so to make himself feel stronger. So he was trying to hype himself up to catch Spider-Man, essentially. So it just baffles me that Sony's trying to make villains into anti-heroes when technically they're not anti-heroes for the most part. And just so they can have like their own cinematic universe, so they can keep this thing going, since they don't want to ruin what they have with Marvel and Spider-Man.
Yeah, the whole thing with Kraven is, and we've known this for a while, they confirmed it. Every single film has wanted to use Kraven that's been in development.
Yeah.
All the Spider-Man films, every director, even Kevin Feige confirmed it, Amy Pascal confirmed it, and they always go, no, we can do something more interesting down the road.
Yeah, like even I think it was even with the last Spider-Man film, like in one of the original drafts, he was supposed to be in it.
It was originally supposed to be a Kraven Hunter movie, yeah.
Yep. Until they made a multiverse film. So It's unfortunate that they've been trying so hard, and then finally they get it to happen. And Kraven the Hunter is literally not going to be Kraven. And it's one of these things where you just look at everything that happened with Morbius, and you go, so we're following the same route. And one of the things I thought was interesting, Aaron Taylor Johnson's like, we actually didn't use green screen. We shot this on location. It's the most real Marvel movie. It's like, that's because you guys are making this on the cheap. Like,
Yeah.
it's, yeah, this movie, I'm telling you.
Oh man, it's like he's like, we shot this on location. I fought a tiger. It's like, okay, it's just weird that they chose this route with Kraven, because he's a legitimately good character for being a villain. Because what I think most people are trying to say is that it's not the first time he was an anti-hero, because they look back at the 90s animated series where Kraven was a villain for the most part, except I think towards the end of the run they made him an anti-hero because I think it was the reason he was a villain in the first place, hunting down animals and seeking out Spider-Man, was because he was hopped up on steroids. And now that he's not hopped up on steroids anymore, he's actually cool as a cucumber and helps Blade out capturing Spider-Man because he turned into Man-Spider. That's like the only reason that I can conceivably think that, hey, we can make him a hero because of this, and people like this version.
Yeah, it's well, you
So
know what?
my thing with Kraven is people only give a crap about one story.
Yup.
Last time.
He's a one story villain, and
well, what about the other story they did where like
what other story?
Him. There's two, but it was basically a retread of the first one. It was him and his family taking down the Spider family.
I don't get why Mitch doesn't understand the simplicity here. It's like Venom 1. It's supposed to be like that film where he was Lethal Protector that people kept screaming, even though they did nothing from the Lethal Protector arc in that damn movie. That's what they're doing, Mitch.
But they said Lethal Protects, that's no.
Oh, okay, well, that makes sense. Story checks out. Story definitely checks out.
Sounds like a 90s thing. It's like, no, it's an 80s thing. Dumb. Yeah. Dumb. But, no, it's... I don't know. Kraven's cool. He's people only want it for Kraven's last hunt. But that's... You're never going to get it, so...
Well, we're definitely not going to get Kraven. I mean, that's definitely sounds for certain.
Tarzan. You ain't going to like it.
Oh, it's definitely going to be... It's going to be worse than that Tarzan movie WB did like 3 years ago. Oof.
What about George of the Jungle?
It won't be that good. It ain't going to be that good. Let's be real. But you know what?
Like, is Kraven gonna like swing from a vine or like a tether? Yes. But instead of from his hands, it's gonna be from his butt cheeks, like in the Disney movie.
That's fine. Take it.
It's literally just gonna be any like Tarzan spoof ever.
It's true. And speaking of that, though, let's make this topic actually more interesting by just tossing the Q&A here alongside of it. So this one comes from our member section from SpiderPig1000. He says, if Disney was to offer a large sum of money to Sony for the movie rights to Spider-Man and everything, like suddenly tomorrow, what do we think the number would be and Sony would be willing to accept it?
Well, last time they did that, Sony told them, I think it was like $4+ billion at the time.
Yeah.
And
Marvel was it 9?
Whatever it is, it's too much.
Yeah. I think it was just a little too much. Yeah, at the time, because I think Marvel and Disney were gonna pay half, but they wanted more.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not like it hasn't happened. It's just that Sony wants to hold the rights, like the licensing rights, hostage, so they can get a big payout for some reason.
Mm-hmm. And the problem is now Spider-Man's worth a lot more.
Yeah. Yup. That's kind of where you're at. The number they would give them, I mean, let's look at this realistically. Marvel was bought, all of Marvel, by Disney for like just shy over $4 billion. All of Star Wars for $4 billion. Spider-Man ain't worth that much. Like,
Especially when Disney's already got the merchandising rights.
Exactly. Like, it's only the film rights. And right now, since they're already holding on to the film aspect of it, of using Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and that's going to continue, it's honestly, they're in the best case scenario right now. The only number that Disney could give them that I could see actually happening would be like $1 billion tops. And Sony wouldn't accept it because guess what? All the secure deals that they get for streaming being like, hey, we'll sell Venom to you internationally, but we'll sell Venom to Netflix and Starz and HBO here and Morbius here. They already made like $3.2 billion of profit just striking streaming deals last year. So they bought themselves time. So I don't think Disney could realistically toss in a number Sony would accept because they have nothing else to fall back on. Because Ghostbusters, I know we're getting another Ghostbusters movie. That last movie did not make money. It made less than the all-female one that everybody hates. So it's
a good movie though.
It was great. I loved it. But the fact of the matter is Sony doesn't have much. So, it's it's Sony.
They got nothing established.
Yeah.
Sony's got their entire gaming catalog.
Yep, and they're hoping that's they're hoping that's a gold mine for them. So
I mean, Uncharted made money.
True, that's true.
I don't know how because I didn't watch it, but it made money.
It made money because it was junk food.
Yeah. Oh, that's definitely the
people just watched it because it was an action flick.
It's true. It's damn true. I guess that's brought us to the end of the podcast, everybody. It's been a good one. I feel it. I think we actually did a little longer than normal. We were able to take
nearly an hour out there.
Yeah, able to take some of these topics and stretch them out like Mr. Fantastic and his spaghetti body. So they're all over the place.
I watched that last night. Good movie.
I'm gonna watch that later today. I'm excited. I'm excited to watch it again.
It looks really good in IMAX. And for Twitch, I did just have the mic muted then, so you wouldn't have heard that I was talking about Doctor Strange. I did the thing again.
Yeah, well, seeing that was it? Saying that was it that Doctor Strange overshadowed Ms. Marvel, and that's why it's not getting the views it should be.
Yeah, the thing that came out before overshadowed the thing that came out a month later. Yay, big brain. Woo.
Hey guys, did you know that the first 5 DCEU films made more than the first 5 MCU? Don't count the Avengers. Please don't count the Avengers.
Literally the same energy.
It's the same.
Literally the same energy.
Yep. Oh, Superman made more than Captain America 1. You don't say. Your big brain. Craziness. So that's it, everybody. That's the end of the show. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Until next time, go do whatever Kraven will do. I don't know. Go to a zoo.
Get some donuts.
Get some donuts or something. Yeah. Maybe you'll be craving the taste of it.